Hey there, everyone. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Inc. and host of the iTunes show, the Dr. Gwen Podcast Show. I am so happy to be back. I have just returned from 2 weeks away from home. My goodness, I had the most amazing week in San Diego about 2 weeks ago when I left there to work on a few certifications to make myself so much more valuable to my clients. And what I actually discovered about 6 months ago was that probably a year ago, not 6 months, but about a year ago, I discovered that I had the healing touch. And my husband, he was playing soccer one of the times for his workplace, and he came home with a leg injury, and I said, let me see that. And I just kind of rested my hand on it and touched it in a kind of healing way. And he said, it feels better. And I was really amazed. Now, that was really the beginning of my discovery, because then I realized that maybe I was onto something, because 4 years before that, while I was participating in an event, I heard a voice, not an audible voice, but a voice say to me, you're a healer. And I thought, that was a ridiculous thought. What do I know? I have no idea about this thing. I knew my mom seemed to have had that healing touch, because she was always forever able to do that. And I know my sister had that healing touch because she was also able to do that with her kids. But me, I didn't think that way. Being that left-brained, analytical type person, that was never something that entered into my thought about me and what I was able to do. But in any event, I did that for my husband, and it happened more than one time. And after repeatedly doing it and discovering that it happened and he was able to be healed, I thought back on when my kids were younger. And actually, there were times when they had gotten hurt and they came to see me crying, and they would say, well, it hurt, and, like mommies do, we would pick them up and touch it and kiss the boo-boo. And instantly they would say, well, I feel better. And I thought nothing about it, really. But then I also not only discovered that I had that touch healing, I also discovered that I was able to work with my clients long distance on the phone to get them to overcome physical ailments, emotional ailments, and all of those things. Now, it hasn't worked for 100% of the things that I tried to do back then, but it did for most of them. And I was pretty impressed with that. Being able to help my clients, even though we're coaching about business success, their lives show up at times, and was able to help them overcome whatever they were going through at the moment, whether it was stress events or even physical stuff that they were going through during their daytime that prevented them from doing what they needed to do in their business or in their life. So having gone off to San Diego, I received a couple other certifications that I'm very intrigued about. And what this helps me to do is to expand my reach of healing, not so much in the healing modality, but in the modality of healing people so that they can achieve the dreams that they want, so that they can overcome whatever the ailment is that is keeping them here. Maybe it's procrastination, maybe it's whatever it is. And as I said, I was already doing those things on a big enough scale before I went, but I think just having a certification behind it really had a boost to the whole thing. So if you were looking at my page, you will notice that I have on there if you are having trouble getting what you want. Are you having trouble getting what you want, whether it's in your business or in your lives? And I want to give you 5 things that I think you need to consider as you work on your business or your life. These are things that I think a lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to because they don't understand the correlation between the life that they are living and the results that they're getting. But if I could help you to dispel any kind of myth that you have, any kind of misunderstanding that you have about what the results are that you're having in your life and the way you're living your life, then this is my opportunity to do that. And I want you to tune in by listening to these 5 things that I'm going to give you, 5 tips that I am going to give you. A lot will evolve. The first tip I want to give you is this, that you should dream and dream big. Many times when we dream, we may dream big, and then there is this element that I called resistance that's built into your dreams. So you want to dream, and you really want to dream big without resistance. Now, what do I mean by resistance? Sometimes we're having resistance and we don't even realize that we're doing it, right? We may have a thought that pops up. For example, if you say, I want a lot of money in my life, and I would advise probably to be a little more specific, but you may say that, right? And immediately you start thinking about your lack, what you don't have. I can't buy this, and I can't buy a pair of shoes, and I can't go for a vacation, or I can't get something nice for myself because I don't have. So you're dreaming, but in your dreams there is resistance because you immediately start focusing on what you don't have. Now, I want to tell you that's a surefire way to shoot the results in your foot, to shoot the results out of the ballpark, however you want to say that. If you really, really want to start manifesting or having, I don't like the word manifesting because so many people jump on that, but if you really want to start seeing results in your life, when you dream big, stay open. Now you may say, Dr. Gwen, well, how in the world do I do that? I'm looking at my life. I have the circumstances in my life. They're real to me. How do I not focus on those circumstances so that I can get what I want? Well, it's quite subtle. Sometimes when you are dreaming and you're having the resistance, those resistance thoughts start building some certain level of momentum in your life. I know I've been there, right? And you start thinking about what you need, and boy, oh boy, the anxiety starts building, and before long, you're pushing away what you want. But the thing to understand about this whole scheme of things is this, that when you want something, thinking about the thing you want is a good thing. If those resistance are built inside of you, you're pushing it away. You're actually pushing it away. So how do you get rid of that resistance? Release. Just really release. That's one way. I mean, there's several ways I could go with this conversation, and I'm trying to make it very useful for you. Back off and release. And you may say, well, how can I back off? I've got my bills to pay. I've got this other thing to pay. Distract your mind from focusing on the negative and focus on what you want with a lot of feelings, of good feelings, of feeling happy and fulfilled about getting it, casting the vision of what you want and seeing yourself accomplishing it. I had the goodwill of talking with one of my clients quite recently and helping her to picture what she wanted to have. You know, there was a time when I really felt that that was foolishness. I really did. And I didn't understand the value of seeing what I wanted before I got it. If you're spiritual, if you're religious, and maybe if you're Christian, you know the thought in the Bible that says that whatever you ask for, believe that you have it and you will. Well, that believing that you have it takes the whole visual component, that whole feeling component, that whole tasting component. All of your sensory modalities come into play when you want to visualize what you want. So you want to really dream big and take your, see where the resistance is in your life. Another way you may be having resistance is feeling the tension in your body. Do you pay attention to your body right now? Is your body in a relaxed state of being? Or is there physical, maybe tension in your shoulders or tension in your brain due to what you may be thinking? And I didn't answer the question of exactly how you're going to make that different and get rid of it. But here's what I want to do right now. I'm going to go to step 2, which I'm switching my steps around a little bit to help you to see how you can do it. You have to learn to connect with your inner guide, your inner source, God within. Some people call it source, some people say the universe, some people call it higher self, inner self, God within. Now, I think mostly all religions agree that God is within, right? The kingdom of God is within you. You know, you can access your source guide from within. How do you do that? How do I do that? In the mornings when I wake up, I meditate for about 15 minutes. Sometimes it goes for 45 minutes, depending on the state of mind that I'm in. But what I do during that meditation is I actually empty my mind. Because you see, it's good to do it when I just wake up. Because when I sleep, all the resisting thoughts and everything that I've been thinking throughout the day, maybe all those negative vibrations that you may be having, those negative thoughts that may cross your mind, the anger from people that you've experienced or that you have given, maybe all of your experiences from the day before, when you go to sleep, you put all of that to rest. It's no longer active in your vibration because you're sleeping. So when you wake up in the morning, before you start entertaining any kind of thought in your mind, you have a blank thought. Pay attention to this. You actually literally choose what you're going to pick up and think about in that instant. So what I do before I go to bed at night, I actually start practicing gratefulness and being thankful for the day, being thankful for the rest I'm going to have. So that's the frame of mind I go to bed in. And then when I wake up, I start that gratefulness, just that immediate thanking God for the rest, for the night's rest, just being grateful for my bed, for my pillow, just being grateful for life, being grateful for everything before I entertain any thoughts about my day. Because I am the creator of my circumstance, right? Any experience that comes across my path, I am responsible for it, well, whatever it happens, just by how I generate my thoughts. So in my phase of gratefulness and gratitude, I start emptying my mind and just being in a place of quietness where I can focus and listen for the voice, that intuitive voice, not an audible voice, but an intuitive voice that's going to guide me. And I release. I may ask questions or pose my situations, or I may visualize my successes. Any and all of those things is what I do. And I am just continuously in that phase of space where I am allowing before I start picking up anything for the day. Then I do this. I set an intention for my day, and I know my day is going to be beautiful. I'm going to meet the most wonderful people. people who are pleasant. This is the intention that I am setting for myself. And I start feeling that emotion of gratitude and love. And setting that intention helps me to empty my mind of the things that previously were resistant thoughts that stop me. I stay in that frame of mind for as long as I can. Sometimes I have things coming in there, either from a phone call or something I've seen on maybe Facebook that upsets my whole vibration. And I don't give that any kind of momentum at all. I immediately switch back and be at peace so that I can stay in that frame of mind of non-resistance. Now, truthfully, if you are like me, if you are like I was, you may be thinking, hogwash. You know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Let me tell you, my life really has transformed in such a wonderful and beautiful way. My days are so magical. My days are beautiful. You know, since I started adapting all of these, and the thing that I also see is that the things that I say that I want show up so easily. Some of them are still coming, right? But they show up so much easier for me when I'm not in that state of resistance, excuse me, and when I'm dreaming big about what I want. The third thing I want you to do is to process your feelings, your emotions, your angers. Who are you mad at? Who upsets you so badly, or who has hurt you so badly that you feel like you cannot even begin to forgive them? Is there someone that you have in your life that is just that little knife in the side, that every time you think about them or you see them, an anger arouses within you? If that is the case, that also will stop you from getting what you want. So dealing with that emotion is a huge thing. And generally speaking, what I would say to you is don't try to dismiss the emotion every time it comes up. What people tend to do is to run away from their emotions. But what I want you to do is to embrace it until it fizzles out. Now, this is one thing I help my clients to do so very well. If they have a fear of making money or making a phone call, or they have an anger from someone who's done them wrong, or whatever the situation is, I help them to clear that in such a way that they are now free. They can step forward powerfully and go after the thing that once feared them, or they can be completely resolved and free about that feeling or emotion that used to hold them down and keep them stuck and keep them in pain. So I invite you to reach out to me if this is something that you want to do. The drgwen.com/getresultscoaching is a link where you can schedule a free complimentary session with me so we can help you develop a crystal clear plan about what you want to do, where you want to go, and what you need to do to get it. And then we will help you to understand and see all the things, or some of the things, that may be stopping you or holding you back from achieving exactly what you want. This way, once and for all, some things are sabotaging your progress. Once and for all, you can be clear about what's stopping you and exactly what you need to do to move forward. So Get Results Coaching, the drgwen.com/getresultscoaching is a link that you can go on to schedule a complimentary session with me so that we can get that resolved. So that third thing is to work on those emotions. Don't just shove them under the rug and hope that they will go away. Now, if you're doing your meditation, then truthfully, you will also get inspired thoughts. What I like to do is to keep my phone recorder by my bed or a pen and paper so that when those thoughts pop in my head, I can record them one way or the other. Either I'm writing them down or I'm recording them on my phone, but I record them. When you get inspired thoughts, how do you know they are inspired, or how do you know whether it's not some random thoughts? Sometimes that's not as easy to decipher. The thing that I use to help me to be clear about it is my feelings. Those feelings are really, really important signals for you. Start paying attention to them if you haven't paid attention before, because they will definitely help you to know when you are connected with Source, with God, or when you're not. And if you're feeling bad and you're feeling awful, then that's not a God-like connection. When you're feeling fulfilled and at peace and in flow and just completely fulfilled, that is a God-like connection. When the inspired thoughts come, if you feel at peace with those thoughts and you feel like, wow, this is a grand idea. Wow, where did this come from? This is an inspiration. My invitation to you is to step out and start acting on it. Don't run off to go discuss this with someone else who may shoot the idea in the foot. If you have an inspired action, that may be the very action you need to get you out of the funk that you have found yourself in. So don't run off to go find people to have conversations with who are going to tell you, oh, no, don't do that. Your inspired source should be your guide to moving forward. And when you get that inspired action, step out and take action. And last thing, number 5, many times you may find that you set things in motion and they don't all the way you want them to. What I would say is back off of beating the drum of what went wrong. What we like to do, what you may find yourself doing, is actually getting on that drum of, oh my goodness, it didn't work again. Oh my goodness. I'm not talking about brainstorming or getting feedback on processes. I'm talking about staying in that feeling where your emotions feel drained and you feel completely horrible about the experience. Remember, if you're feeling horrible about an experience, that's not a God-like sense. That's not a source-like sense of feeling that you want. And you always want to make an effort to get out of that type of feeling as quickly as you can without the momentum building. So when you get those things, don't beat that drum. Oh, somebody must be sabotaging my results. This must be the thing that's happening. Wow, I've worked so hard and I cannot seem to move ahead. Get those conversations out of your mind right now. They're not going to help you. They're not going to open up the wellstream of resources that's already waiting for you to be manifested. So back off of that. But when it doesn't go wrong, when it doesn't go the way you want it to, then let go. Let go off the reins if you've done everything you know you need to do. Let go off of the reins. Go off. Go have some fun. Go create some dreams. Go create something to be happy about. Listen to some music. Dance. Work out. What do you love to do? Go distract your mind from it, because while you're doing that, you're allowing yourself to get back into sync with who you truly are, so you can now begin again to look at the situation with fresh eyes and to hear the insights that God is providing to you. So my friends, I hope these 5 tips will help you. And I know they have helped me tremendously, really wonderfully. I'm not the type of person to come on here and to brag about my life and everything, but I just really want to let you know that I'm feeling so immensely grateful for life. I'm feeling immensely grateful for the results that I'm having in my life, in my business, in my relationships. And I want that for you as well, an empowered life. And you get to create that. So I invite you to take these 5 tips into consideration. Reviewing them again. Dream big without resistance. You definitely don't want the resistance in your path. Second one, connect with your inner guide. Find that source place where that wonderful feeling of resonance and beauty exists in your soul, and connect there and listen to the source guide. Get the feeling, let go of the resistance in that space. Then the next thing is, I want you to process your emotions and those feelings. Do you have someone you're mad at? Are you angry about something? Are you fearful about something? Whatever it is, get past those things. You will not move into explosive success unless you get past those things. And I can help you with that if you so desire. The drgwen.com/getresultscoaching. If you click that link, you should be able to schedule a complimentary session with me where you're able to do that. Number 4, take inspired action. When you get those downloads, when you get the ideas of what to do next, before you go vetting it with people who would quite possibly shoot the idea out of your head, take action. That could possibly be the one thing that's going to get you out of your funk. Take action. And then number 5, when things don't seem to be going the direction you wanted to, let go, back off, run off, go have some fun, go enjoy yourself, clear your mind, raise your vibration, just get yourself in a happy state. It's the happy state that causes you to get the things of more in line with being happy. Because what you don't know, or what you may know, is that everything is energy. It's all about vibration. It's all about frequency. It's all about resonance. And anything you think, anything you feel sends a vibration out. And so what you want to do is to find yourself in that space where you're continuously in a state of high, happy vibration. It's not always possible, but when you do find yourself down, feeling not so good, distract your mind, get in a state, meditative state, clear your thought, build something, be grateful, be thankful, and before long, you will find yourself there again. And before long, you will find yourself having more and more of the things that you want. It's not all theory, trust me. And then I want you to head on over to my blog page at thedrgwen.com/blog and to read some inviting, inspirational, helpful topics there that will help you not just in your own business, but in your life and hopefully your relationships and career as well. Once again, friends, thank you so very much for joining me here. This is Dr. Gwen, skyrocketing your business profits and empowering lives to live purposefully and passionately. Bye.